they couldn't understand it. They didn't understand that the Lord was he prophesied even going back to the law of the prophets. And that was the very moment when the Lord had Moses put that in there to address Israel, that he's going to provoke you to anger with these people. Because you're considering them not your people, even though they're part of that seed, but they fell away. But the fact that we preached the gospel to you and you couldn't see it and you rejected the chief cornerstone, them believing, now guess what? They replace you. Those are Israel. You're not Israel, you're just a hypocrite. That's what they don't understand. Exactly. And these Israelites that believe, they wasn't here to witness the miracles that the Lord was doing. And they still believe. So that was accounted, that type of level of faith is what counted for their righteousness. That was the fold that the Lord was talking about, the fold that, the sheep that is not of this fold, them I must bring. Okay? They were the ones that was able to get grafted in. And that provoked those of the circumcision that didn't believe it, provoked them to jealousy.
They have been keeping the law. How you gonna make it? Same with these two.
You're no great. You're no better than them.
Right.
And just like you casting them off because they're not keeping the law, because they don't look the part. Yeah. You're not keeping the law either.
Yeah.
Brothers, where your fringes at, brother? You know you're supposed to wear that, right? But what if he say, okay, so y'all keeping the Sabbath day? Can we have sex on the Sabbath day? Yeah. Oh yeah? But I thought the law said to keep that Sabbath day holy. So you're no different than me.
Yeah.
And an example of that, book of Exodus, when the children of Israel wanted to speak with the Most High himself, what the Lord tells the children of Israel, don't come and tell your wives for 3 days, right? That's how you become holy, you know?
That's it.
I'm going to read it again, verse 16. As it also, in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which that they are unlearned and unstable rest, as they do also the other scriptures, unto their own destruction.
That's what happens. That's why the scriptures say not to lean upon your own understanding.
You can't go into the New Testament without having an understanding of the Old Testament. Who you're talking about, why, things that happen, situations. There's a lot of references from the New Testament refer back to the Old Testament. And
all the history. All the history. Like the Apocrypha. For a while, those texts, they went without mention for a while, and that's why people were confused as to why all of a sudden, in the Old Testament, the last captivity being the Medo-Persian Empire, so now all of a sudden we're talking about the Grecians.
Yeah.
How are we getting to the Greeks now?
Where's all this history?
What happened in the history that shows that that the Hellenization happened? You got to get a thorough understanding by going into the Maccabees.
Yeah.
How all of a sudden the Lord's keeping the feast of dedication? What is Hanukkah? Where does Hanukkah go back to? What commemorated that particular feast day?
Yeah.
What event transpired? See, these are things that you got to understand and know. All right. What the abomination of desolation?
Mm-hmm.
So they be lost.
You can walk through.
When it comes to these things.
You can
That's
walk
why
through. You all right?
if you don't have these thorough understandings of these things, you're gonna be unstable and unlearned, and you're gonna wrestle with the scriptures. You're gonna have issues with the scriptures.
And I want to make
Christianity did a horrible job edifying you on these things. Man.
Now here's the point though. We go back to matter of fact, so we drop somebody for Jeremiah 3:15. Here's the difference. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna let the brother read it. The difference is, you notice every other Christian that ever has a heart to live with is always trying to debunk what we believe. But you can't tell me what to believe.
Yeah.
You give us some old rhetoric that you can't quote out the scriptures what to believe. It's always about debunking the concrete evidence that we found in the scriptures of what we believe, trying to find holes in the story so we don't believe that. But you can't fill those holes in with truth from the scriptures.
Hey, and that's he was making it seem like we're just, you know, like, oh, you got to give the whole external view of the
Right.
scripture. We're literally reading the scripture to you while you're just giving your exegesis and reference to certain scriptures.
Yeah.
You're not reading. What scripture did he come out with when he was up here?
He didn't bring.
He brought that Romans 11.
He
And
tried to go to Romans 11
Yeah.
and get that. And then, but we want to talk about context. Let's go to where it was originally quoted from.
yeah,
Let's deal with that first, and then let's get understanding on that.
He pretty much tried, but he changed the context. He moved the goalposts, as they say.
That's why he kept talking so long.
He moved it because he saw where he was going. He understood, but he didn't understand that. Now here's the cold part that we got to remember. A lot of these people are blind, so when they hear the truth, it's never going to resonate with them. So they're just going to keep moving until they hear something that they understand or change to where they can understand.
Right.
We got to remember that. So we're fighting against something that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
But edifying the camera is still there. People that believe already, they get it. This guy, as soon as he went into the natural side of things, about the law, and Moses wrote it, and Paul quoted what Moses said, he started taking it toward a spiritual inner Israelite thing. But hold on, man, you can't move it yet. Man, let us establish where the ball is at. Then let's find out where the goal line is at before you move it, bro.
I got a quick point. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 24. All his ways are plain unto the holy. So are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
Right.
And they who are unlearned and ignorant they wrestle with the writings as they do other scriptures until they own destruction.
Yep.
Because basically a lot of these mysteries, a lot of these secrets that the Lord gave to his prophets are stumbling blocks to those who the Lord don't want to understand.
And you notice that they always wrestle with the deeper stuff. Y'all, you too deep in the water, bro.
yeah.
You can't. Hey,
You need to get them back
Olympic
to the
swimmers,
field.
you know, they swim 15 feet deep and all of that. You know, 8 meters deep or whatever. You go to the ocean, let's see how long they swim out there. These are professional swimmers. You can't swim out there. It's a different. It's sharks and shit. It's all kinds of things out in deep water. So Paul's writings is similar to that. You start trying to get into understanding of Paul, this goes to that brother I talked to yesterday. He said, I'm getting into the New Testament, cool. But get a thorough knowledge of the Old Testament so you know what foundation to follow into Paul's writings of your belief. So the belief doesn't change. I changed not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Because that's what these Christians are doing. They're consumed thinking that he changed something. He opened it up. Paul said he opened it up now while people have not
Grafted
seen it.
in.
They don't
Grafted in.
understand that.
Yeah, but
You don't understand that.
grafted.
Yeah.
What does that mean? When you graft in something, that means you're taking something that was originally a part of that
Put
thing,
it back.
and you're basically putting it back together.
Like it says the adoption.
Huh? No different.
Yeah,
You went from being the sons of the Most High to not a people to now through the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, believing on the gospel and having faith. Now are you now the sons of God again?
Right.
The Lord, the Lord did was with His sacrifice, He restored the peace between the Most High and His people.
Right.
But it's only through a remnant, with Yahweh Shai being the mediator. Come on, man. It's not that hard to understand.
And Dan brought out a point from the beginning because he asked him about Revelation 7. He said, okay, in Revelation 7, when it lists the 12,000 basically out of each of the 12 tribes, well, we understand who are those people? What nation do they come from? Because we understand that there's an elect, but we understand that the Israel as a whole is Yahweh Shai's people. But as you brought out in the scripture, brought out as well, there's a remnant of or a chosen of the chosen. And that's the point you were touching on.
He couldn't understand that. He thought that was foolish.
Exactly.
But he was going to go, when he brought that out, he was going to be like, go to the scripture after the name, naming
And it said
Oh, the
kindred.
multitude.
Multitude. Yeah.
And we
Look up nation.
Yeah.
he was going to run right into another haymaker, bro.
If he knew anything, he would have brought that up. Yeah, you said after you said that, but
He wouldn't have understood that either. You know, because hey, even vocab, he tries to go into that too.
yeah.
But
But
okay,
then
yeah, you got the 12,000 from each tribe, but then what about the great multitude?
See,
The mixed multitude that was out of every kindred, tongue, and nation.
then we get
That's talking about Israelites
yeah.
outside of the governing body. That's like, no matter where you go with it, it's still going to go back to Israel.
And Second Ezra 2 backs that up.
The seed is the seed.
Exactly.
I looked up graphs.
Sion, stock, con.
Basically, I looked up graph, and this is the illustration on how you basically attach, branches. So you got branch A, right? You see that? See that?
Yeah, I can see it. Put it on this one next after you. Yeah.
You got branch A that was basically broken off from branch B. So you graft it back by putting branch A and B together. All right, but they're the same tree, which are the same nation of people, which are Israelites.
Right.
You know?
Basically, when the Lord broke them off, that was where it comes in when the brother read Jeremiah 17, they would discontinue from their heritage. That was when the Lord started to break that branch off. The Lord pretty much he broke the brotherhood as well. The northern and southern kingdom got split. They wasn't seeing eye to eye. They started warring and beefing with each other. Then they ended up going into captivity, took out of their land, and then they left and came over here to this side of the world. While you still had Judah, and you had a number of them that came back after the Babylonians took them captive. But then you still had Jews that still remained in those other areas, that still continue to migrate further into the other regions, and marrying other women, having children with them, their children following after the ways of their mothers, speaking the language of the heathen.
Second Ezra.
Khan. That was when
First goes into that.
Khan. That was when that was part of the process of the Lord breaking off that branch.
His father was a Greek.
That's
His
another
father was Jewish.
But he's an Israelite, though. I want to make a quick point. That is masterful to take that out of the scripture, the Apocrypha. You take out that history of what happened after the Babylonians, and that key element of what happened between the Babylonians, the Assyrians, and then the Persians and the Medes, right? The part of us being in those lands, and then the Greeks. You take that away, you missed the whole case of what happened to our people. Now you can insert anybody into there.
Bro,
Because you're missing that piece of history.
if you cut out the Maccabees, if you cut out that part of the history, you don't understand when Daniel had the vision of the four beasts.
Right.
What was the leopard?
Yeah.
How you gonna understand what the leopard was?
Yeah.
There's no Greek. They reference Greeks in the 66 books, but they don't actually talk about when we were there.
That
And what
empire.
happened, because that was actually the key moment of what happened in our history.
Because in every captivity we had prophets,
Right.
and those prophets wrote the accounts.
Men of the Lord.
Yeah.
Like an example, when we was under the Babylonians, the different kings of the Babylonian Empire were mentioned.
Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar,
Never.
Belshazzar, so on and so forth. The Median-Persian Empire,
Darius,
Darius, Cyrus,
Xerxes.
Artaxerxes. You know, you had all those different rulers. The Assyrian captivity, Sargon, right? You had Sennacherib, all right? Shalmaneser.
Yeah.
All these guys were being mentioned by name.
No
And when they
Greeks.
got, but yet you don't hear no Greeks, none of the Greek rulers.
Hey, but it's in there, though. In gold. Yeah.
Yeah. It talks about the he-goat, but that's as far as you can go.
But you don't know
Who is that he-goat?
Right.
At least the scholars, some of the Christian scholars, though, they know. You know, they go into the history.
Yeah, the Apocrypha. Maccabees goes in Ptolemy and
Seleucus,
Seleucus. Yeah.
Alexander.
Yeah.
Alexander Bellas.
Yep.
Alexander the Greek.
Yep. Philip.
Macedon.
Yeah, man.
Key historical